Alright, before we start, make sure you go and check out my new book, Modal Alternate Picking, if you want a practice schedule which will upgrade your technique, your ears, and your fretboard knowledge in the same exercise. You have a link in the description below, and it's $9. It's way underpriced for what you're getting, but you still need to put in the work, of course. So I can't do that for you, but you have everything in that book if you want to improve your technique and all the other things that I just mentioned. Hey, John here. In this video, I'm going to share something that I learned from Verheyen back when I was going to GIT back in the mid-90s. And Verheyen, amazing session player, just an amazing improviser. Kind of sounds like a bit like Eric Johnson mixed in with his own stuff. So really, really good player. So definitely check him out. I'm going to link to his some YouTube video with him in the description. I don't know which one yet, but yes, some video. Also because when I say Verheyen, you're gonna be like, huh, how do I even spell that? So I'm gonna help you out and link to that. Another thing I want to share today was just this thing that I thought was cool. I didn't know this book actually existed until actually a week ago, and then I ordered it and got it yesterday. I'm only in chapter 2, but so far it's very cool, and it's a Dream Theater biography, and it features interviews with a lot of people around the band and the band members themselves as well, I think. And this is the updated edition, so you have some extra insights into stuff. Like I said, only into chapter 2 so far, but considering I didn't even know that this existed, and it's already 10 years old, but even in the first chapters, I got some really interesting new things about Petrucci, for example. A classmate of his said that one summer he just decided that, okay, for the next 12 weeks, I'm gonna practice 10 to 12 hours a day. And apparently he did that as well. So, and I was like the biggest Petrucci nerd when I started out, and still am when it comes to music. So it was really cool to actually be able to dig deeper into this stuff instead of, you know, some interviewer asking like, oh, what kind of a amp do you use or what strings do you use? Personally, I don't find that interesting at all. I just find like, how did I get to where they are? And I'm really love hearing about practicing an insane amount and all that stuff. Really inspiring to me at least. So maybe some of you would like that as well. I'm not affiliated with this at all, so if you want to check the book out, it's by Rich Wilson. I found it on Amazon, and for whatever reason it's not available on Kindle, which was annoying, so that's why I had to buy the actual book. So today I want to share this thing from Verheyen, like I said, and basically it's just a way how you can write licks, or he calls it lines, and basically a line is a lick, something you play over a certain chord. And what he would do is choose a chord, and we can start here by choosing a E minor or E minor 7, and then we just go by ear. So if I start here, for example, and this is not pre-made at all in this video, maybe I should have done that, but this might be totally horrible. But I'm just gonna start on the root, and then I just kind of listen, okay, what I want to hear after that. So, okay, so I took the 5th here, and it doesn't really matter, you know, that this is the 5th per se, it's just what sound you want. So you can even go try it out. So maybe you go like, okay, you know you're in minors, maybe you just go, a bit boring, could work, okay, maybe, but yeah, I like that one. So I'm gonna go with that. So you can be that sort of systematic about it. Just go from note to note and then build this line. And I'm not even thinking about, you know, okay, how am I supposed to play this the best way? At the moment, I'm just gonna alternate pick it. And then, you know, you can arrange it for different techniques later if you want, if you like it. So, okay, so we have this. So I like that. What else? I like that as well, okay? Yeah, I like that as well. And I'm going a bit faster now. So if I hear something, I'm just gonna add it. But when you do this yourself, feel free to, you know, take your time and be like, okay, yeah, not really. Well, that was nice. I can play that here as well. But again, I'm gonna go with I just played. And of course, it helps a lot to be aware of all the notes around whatever root note you're playing here, so you can find the notes quickly. But that's something you can learn just by doing this, and obviously pick up my book as well. This is not a plug for the book, but that's one of the things that the book will help you with. So however you get to this point, you want to get to this point where you can see the intervals around a certain root. So in this case, we have the root here and here. So again, so we have 1, then 5, the flat 3, 4, and then 2. Okay. Okay, like that. So what I just played here, in case you also liked it, was 1, 5, flat 3 here, and then back to the root, flat 7, and then flat 7 again, and then the 5th. And what's nice about this is that since I'm starting with a chord, I kind of want to outline the sound of that chord. So that's where I feel this approach has a real value in terms of you getting familiar with how you can weave lines that work over certain chords. And you're the one in the driver's seat, so you might think that this one sucks balls, and then you can choose other notes, right? So, and once you find something that you like, so we have this, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, that's a pretty musical number because we basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it works well rhythmically with 16th notes, with 8th notes, and so on. So I have that. Let's say I like that. The next step could be to find out if this sounds good, sequencing it throughout the scale. And when you do that, you will really learn the scales, but also the better you know the scales, the less annoying it's going to be to do. So in this case, since we have 7 notes, and I'm going to stick now to this fingering, meaning so I have 1 note, 3 notes on the B string, 2 notes on the G string, and 2 notes on the E string. So I'm going to stick to that structure, right? And that will make it way easier to move around in the scale. So if we think of this as the actually, we haven't painted ourselves into a minor scale corner yet because we don't have a 6th. But let's say we're thinking of this as E Aeolian. In that case, 1 should go to 2, 5 should go to flat 6, and then we have the flat 3 goes to 4, and then the second goes to flat 3, the 4 goes to 5, and so on. But I think, you know, you can just do it like this. Okay, so you have that instead. And you can see the pattern here. And then that fairly nice as well, even over E minor. Let's see. As long as I resolve it to the 5th in this case. So, like I said, a bit of a train wreck here. You have to watch me struggle with these fingerings, but I didn't want to prepare anything that would seem a bit, silly. So I can see here now that I get confused here. So maybe I just want to work on that. Actually, kind of like that one almost better because you get some spice over it. But also, this will work well then over the 2 chord in the key of E minor in this case. So the F sharp minor flat 5. It kind of gives you ideas for melodies right away. At least for me, when I play this, I kind of want to, expand on it. All right, so not to make this video too long, I'm just going to move up to the next note of the scale. So now I'm going to start from G here. So it's a really nice sound. So, and even over the E chord here, if we think of the E as the prevailing harmony, I'm just going to do this now. So you can hear both. Let's see. Whoops. Right, so. So, for me, it just opens up a lot of ideas right away. But the only thing we did here, we moved this shape that we came up with just by ear. Okay. So that was the whole thing, right? But I would suggest that you take it easy and sort of work through this slowly. And again, you might find that some of these variations sound better, better sounding to you than the starting point. So I like this one as well. Let's see. I did not like that one very much. This one from C. I really like that one because C, E minor and C, E minor and C Lydian share the same notes. So by going from C here, you have 1, 5, 3, sharp 4, which is the Lydian note, the Joe Satriani / Steve Vai note. So that's a really nice sound. And if I find that sound is really cool, I want to make sure that I not only see it as, oh yeah, it's part of harmonizing this initial thing, but I also want to be able to see that as its own thing. So we want to bring this back to the original key, just so we know that we have the control over the tonality, so we can use this wherever we want. So again, we don't want to see it just as a derivative from the original. So the only thing I need to do here then is like, okay, I'm in E Lydian now, so that would be, so 1, 5, and then I would have a regular 3. And then I have a sharp 4, and the regular 2nd, and then root, major 7th, and then major 7, and then 5th. So you can play around with that sound a lot. And if you like that sound, then you might want to be like, okay, so if I'm in E Lydian, if I harmonize it within this scale instead, so right, and this one from the 3rd, oops, will also sound really good. And you can even connect those two. And in general, if you find something from the root note like this and you harmonize it, if you do that by going up at least for the 2 first positions, so starting from the root and from the 3rd and from the 5th, those will generally work really well over the original chord. But again, as I said, I really like this one to get back our ears back to E minor. I like that because It really clashes. And then the ear really pulls you back to this note. So, and I think this tension and release thing is really important. Otherwise, everything will just sound like floaty, getting a massage at a Thai place type music. Which is nothing wrong with that if you're in that situation. But in terms of making music that doesn't bore people to tears, you want some tension and release. Alright, so if you've been struggling with using the metronome to get your speed up, you want to check this video out to see what I did instead.